我觉得它是比较符合科学精神，就是说把这些知识共享，就不会有任何的隐瞒。就我觉得印象比较深是这些。
我在那个公众上面加个 news 服务器吧，起身说要。好啊。我加完了再跟你们说吧。OK。
其他领域，所以我从来不把它看作只是在这个电脑界里面才会有作用的。
You have basically one of the most privileged classes in capitalism, programmers. They can make so much money from working as programmers that they have the time to devote to their own hobbies. Programmers like Alan Cox, they could name their price. Here are these people who are at the top of the heap, and through the structure of transfer of intellectual property that they've come up with, they are transferring that wealth. It is socialism in action, even if the libertarians, are horrified whenever that is mentioned.
Open source projects have been compared to the way science is created. Science in itself doesn't make money. The wealth comes as a result of applications. For the open source hackers, developing Linux has traditionally been a science-like voluntary project, a hobby. Eventually, the best Linux hackers were enlisted. In 1999, during the dot-com boom, some of the Linux companies went public. Wall Street announced record-breaking value for Linux stock. Of course it didn't last, but for a period of time, some Linux hackers were filthy rich, on paper.
Just about everyone who was a core developer before all this hoopla about people making money doing Linux is that they've kept to their values in taking these jobs. Most of us, at least the ones that I keep in contact with, have a very cushy position or pretty much are doing all the Linux work they were doing before they had the job, and within the same levels of freedom as well. So I still got changes from people every day the same way I always did. I still submitted them to Linux the same way I always did before the IPO. Some of us are driving nicer cars than beforehand. That's the only difference. And maybe we're eating a little bit more sushi.
There are some people who got lucky, joined the right company at the right time, managed to participate in the IPO lottery. And there are some people who got millions of dollars, and there are some people who got billions of dollars. And did those people actually contribute more to the company than those other people? In some cases, they just happened to contribute the right amount of investment money at the right time. And I think that's a generic problem. It's not unique to the open source community. And I don't know that we actually have a good solution for that.
Part of what I like about Silicon Valley is just that it's so dynamic, and you can do anything here. And even the money-grabbing approach, I mean, even if it's slightly tasteless, especially when you come from Europe, it's a really good motivational factor, and it's a really good way of getting things done. Has it changed me? I assume so. I mean, it's not the same. I'm not the same person I was when I moved, but I don't think it's made me all that more money conscious than I used to be.
2001, imagined by Stanley Kubrick. In the most ambitious and grotesque PR stunt in history, suicide hijackers blitz America with far-reaching consequences. IT recession affects also open source. No longer does Linus have to act in public all the time as an enlightened philosopher ruler, harassed by the media. But the coolness of Linux still intact. The phenomenon disappears into gadgets, invisible pieces of technology for households and entertainment industry. Gradually, many of us turn into Linux users when the code infiltrates our clocks, toasters, and mobile phones. As for bigger ideals, it could be one of the greatest missed opportunities of our times. If free software liberated nothing but code.
There's no question that development of technology is just going to make Linux obsolete at some point. And the question is just, how long will it take?
Andy, jo, inte kraft.
Will it be in 5 years, will it be in 15 years, or will it be in 50 years? And I think one of the powers of open source is that in 50 years, the next operating system that's the best at the time will be able to take advantage of the source base that Linux had. I mean, the source code itself is to some degree the memory of Linux, and people can always use that as a kind of blueprint. But there's more than that. There's also the intangible issues about why things were designed certain ways. And I think those certainly are out there, even if I weren't out there.
Let's get a burger, start thinking, the type used for printing, and the book that he prints will get people thinking. Let's lure in the little room is setting, start to imagine a Bible, not the Latin, but the language we're swearing and eating and chatting. It's like this that it happens, like this that we see big changes through a human history, not by some powerful terrorist decree, but botanic incremental degrees. Mr. Linus goes to Washington to speak about praxis, gradual change, little man and universal access. Linus against Goliath with nothing else to fill but sling a little stone in the face of Big Bill. But Linus Jefferson's good at strings that lose, and it changes the way the world plays the blues. It's like this that it happens, like this that we see big changes through human history, not by some powerful dictator's decree, but the tiny incremental degrees. Like a butterfly in Helsinki fluttering its wings, producing hammerhead storm clouds over Beijing, when Hermit-like programs become a community, and information achieves its manifest destiny, but to be free. It's like this that it happens, like this that we see big changes through human history, not by some powerful dictator's decree, but botanic incremental degrees. It's like this that it happens, like this that we see big changes through human history, not by some powerful dictator's decree, but botanic incremental degrees. It's like this that it happens, like that's what we see. Big changes through our human history.